terms of the braid pattern disappearing or maturing or whatever you want to call that, I would say that it's really hard to see in this because this is a still of a video. You can still see the braid pattern. I feel like the braid pattern at this point was a lot more predominant than it is now. The difference is that when my hair was all dark black or dark brown, it wasn't as noticeable from afar, whereas when I have lighter hair, it's easier to see the braid pattern in the lighter portions than if it was all black. You know, it would blend in better. Just like in every update that I've had, my locks are maturing at different paces in different places. The ones in the back, I can't really see them, but every time I've looked in the mirror, the ones in the back for the most part are either fully mature, or I don't want to say fully mature, but they don't have that braid pattern look anymore, or you can barely make it out in some. So the ones, like I said, in the back, in the crown area, it's the ones that are in this front area, which is not a surprise just because those are the ones, since they were framing my face, that I braided the tightest. I always encourage people, if you're going to do braid locks, to braid loosely, because you give your hair a better chance at being able to loosen up and swell and expand in order for it to lock, because that's what it needs to do. And so that way, you know, you're not 5 years into your lock journey and looking like Brandy back in the 90s. Y'all remember Brandy? I don't know, maybe there were others that were rocking them that were famous, but I really feel like Brandy is what put micro braids on the map. I don't remember anyone else back then, but I remember Brandy being that person that I could look at and be like, oh, she's got micro braids. Okay. Now granted, it wasn't her hair, you know, all the way down that was micro braided, but still feel like she put micro braids on the map and kind of popularized them. I got me some little Brandy Moesha micro braids, but they are, like I said, maturing. The ones in the front, I'm not bothered by the braid pattern. I know that some people maybe don't want to have a braid pattern. So if you're trying to decide what type of lock that you want to start with, whether you want to start with interlocks, you want to start with braid locks, you want to start with 2-strand twist or comb coils, you know, each has their benefits, each has their cons or weak points. So really at the end of the day, just goes back to you, personal preference, your lifestyle, what works for you, your hair type. You know, if you've got a looser pattern, then trying to do comb coils or maybe even 2-strand twists may not work for you, just because when you go to wash your hair, or if you sweat a lot doing sports or whatnot, then your hair may unravel very easily. Whereas with braids, it's easier to hold that braid in than it is with some others. So those are just some things to keep in mind. If you found this video helpful, then go ahead and join the flock by hitting that subscribe button. I post videos like this regularly throughout the week, and go ahead and hit that like button so that I know what type of content you're enjoying. See you in the next video.